Hey, what's going on everybody? From Our Space Productions, I'm Duna, and this is Hot Wings, the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today I'm joined by the cast and crew from Our Space Productions, where they've done the theatrically cinematic horror experience DEATHCELL Magenta, which previewed this year, February, live in 10 days. Andreas, Steph, Jim, Liam, Jack and Molly, are you ready to face the gauntlet?
Yeah.
You guys did it. Let's get into it. So we have 7 sauces, all done by Dean of the Dead, with some incredible flavours, including your very own hot sauce, which is DEATHCELL Magenta, that we have here today as well. So let's get stuck into the first one. Okay. First one we have is Route 666.
Oh yeah, that's good that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Not gonna lie, I almost panicked thinking I picked up the wrong one.
That happens. Yeah. Nice one to warm into.
Yeah.
So, DEATHCELL is all about the players being assigned their own colours, right? So with magenta being the centre of the new story, I've read that the colour magenta, especially in horror, can kind of give an unease to the eye for audience members. Did that choice kind of come into the play, or were there any other colours that you guys kind of thought of when thinking of DEATHCELL Magenta?
It's a really good question, because magenta is in the world of DEATHCELL in previous productions we've done, but she was never mentioned, she was never seen, so we knew she existed, but the guests didn't when they went through the journey, apart from the escape room puzzles. So yeah, we didn't really sit down and think about the colour and her purpose until this production. But throughout our brand and all the photography and videography, we've gone with the colour, obviously pink and stuff, but she does have a slight hue of pink to her eyes.
Right.
Yeah, so you know, that's why the warden Ryan ends up calling her magenta, because he can't think of another reason apart from she's got, I think the line is, fucked up pink eyes. So I think that's why she's called magenta, but it's because all the other people in his world are players of a colour, so he just names her. So you never know her name before magenta. So yeah, but in terms of the branding and stuff, I mean, it was pretty clear that was something we were going to just take through.
It was, looking back at the original production as well, we had, I feel like the colour magenta was kind of written without us writing it, because the skull that was on the door had a big like magenta splash of paint up like on the skull, right? So that kind of, I guess, gave us the idea that that's sort of a colour. I don't really think there was much like colour theory behind it.
Right. I think I can't remember when we designed it. I think we just found a paint splatter and just thought, let's put some pink in it.
I remember when it was like a month before the original show, and I was messaging you and I was in a Costa somewhere, and we ended up just making up a logo and passing it between each other, and then that ended up being the Magenta logo because we needed something printed for the vending machine. We were like, we need something printed now. So like that's where it came from, and it just kind of like grew and grew from that, and now it's become this iconic mark of DEATHCELL.
And it works. So next hot sauce, Sugar Skull Scorch. So this one was the one that was made specifically for DEATHCELL Magenta. Heard it's a good one. So yeah.
Hopefully. No, it is. It's sweet.
That is sweet.
That's a good sauce. That is good.
Tangy on the tongue.
Going for a second.
I'd eat the bone if I could.
I'm just looking out for seeds. I'm trying to avoid chili seeds.
The seeds of destiny.
No one rubbed their eyes.
Or anything else.
So Andreas,
Hello.
eat your chicken. Don't let me disturb you. So what characters or actors helped you come up or inspire the iteration of Ryan in DEATHCELL, the warden?
Oh, okay. Sorry, this is so good. That's a fun question. I think for me, it was seeing the original promo for DEATHCELL and seeing what was done previously, and seeing like the the jokey element of it. I know that obviously Jim did the Celine Dion video, which was fantastic. So it kind of gave me that idea of like he's got that comedic side to him. He's also demented as fuck.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing was when Steph and Jim came to me and said, we want to, take this character and make it a little bit more sinister. And the first thing they said to me was, because I said, what do you want? What kind of vibe are you going for? And they went, just be you, mate. I was like,
That's a compliment. That's a compliment. Then.
but I don't know, is it? Am I that twisted and demented?
You have good humour.
Because Ryan's a dick. He's a massive dickhead. So I was like, oh, thanks. Wait a minute. But yeah, there wasn't really much like research into it for me. I didn't like base it on anybody. It was just more of take me.
Yeah. What comes out?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that helped me was when Steph said presence. Said when you walk into a room, everyone knows you're in that room.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, how do I take that and dial it up to 100?
Yeah.
And that's how I based Ryan on. Just turn everything up that I am to 100. So yeah, Ryan's basically really awkward
Andreas.
reflection of me.
The twistedness turned up to 100.
Yeah, all the way.
It's carrying on about 10 minutes, 20. Push.
Well, the next hot sauce is stake your breath away. And after this now, on this one, there's 2 questions for each hot sauce. So, upping the ante.
Okay.
So like half a bite.
No, you can go full in. You can go full in.
Wait, so we've got to bite it, do a question, and then do another bite.
No, if you want to, whatever works. Whatever you're comfortable
one bite.
with.
And then another one.
And another one.
And then double down.
And then.
And then.
What flavour is this one?
I need to see everyone else react.
I'm scared.
Oh,
Okay.
That's like a bit Bristol.
a bit citrusy tang.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
It's
I
fruity.
feel like I'm ravenous.
I like that.
I don't like it.
Okay, I'm putting that down.
It is
One
quite
bite,
fruity,
yeah.
isn't it?
Keep one
Yeah.
bite. Keep one bite. Going at your own pace is best.
It's tasty.
Yeah,
It's
good.
nice.
It's nice.
It's a roasted
But I'm all
garlic.
enjoying
Hot
this.
sauce.
Put a dab on.
Put it down
I
on.
feel like I'm not getting much of it.
Oh,
It's in the back of the throat.
it hit me and just hit me in the throat. Are you feeling it now?
My mouth is tingling.
I like a little bit. Just
I
like
have a low heat tolerance. So
Well, we're doing good. We're almost halfway, so we're doing good.
we're not.
If that
You lie.
I lied. So, Steph,
Yes.
during the show,
Mm-hmm.
you saw every guest come through, right?
Yep.
What was the most memorable guest interaction that you would say you had?
There's like 3 that come to mind, so
3,
I
okay.
we've got time for 3. My favourite was when we were in the operating room, all I can see as Magenta through the perspex box, and it was just one couple that had come through for the entire show, and they were in the operating room. And as Magenta, I said, you failed your final conundrum, step in the middle of the room and start to do the countdown. And she just went, no, and just got into the She just hit the cupboard. I couldn't do anything because I was behind the perspex. So I literally was like, you have to, you need to get out now. But like the fly, I think it might have been Rob at the time who was playing the fly, was trying to usher her out, but she'd literally gone in and closed the cupboard and she was like, nah. And just disappeared.
She found a safe space.
Yeah, there was times where that room was like one of the most key rooms for things just being ransacked. We had a old masseuse bed which would come from the original show as well, and people had to find puzzle pieces and they'd just be like, right, and they would just turn everything upside down.
Someone took a floor tile
Some,
up as
and put their
well.
hand in the floor.
Part of the building.
That was like the most fun. But I think the tunnel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I think so. That was the operating room, and then I think maybe in the kitchen with the fridge, where people had to be put in the fridge, like whoever's name was on the fridge, like there was a guest who straight away knew that they were meant to be in the fridge, and they were like, oh, that's me, and then straight away they got taken into the fridge. But I think yeah, the operating room, the girl getting in there, and then we had people reacting to the film as well. We had 2 people crying.
They did. They
One of the deaths in the film.
They went and got
Jack
tissues,
died.
right?
Yeah, when
The
Jack's
architect.
character died.
Yeah.
Spoilers, sorry.
No,
But yeah, we were like, they're crying.
But I'm never looking.
Emotional.
It was.
Yeah.
It was an emotional moment.
Yeah, they did. They went
Like,
to
I
the
remember the
Get
look
out.
that we
I'm
shared.
sobbing.
Lovingly gazing in my
Yeah.
eyes as you killed me.
Poor
You
guy.
say enjoy it. You say
Yeah,
enjoy
but I think the girl getting into the cupboard, I mean, she must have been petrified because she was like, oh, what's coming next? And you've got, like, you know, just her and someone else and then the rest of us chasing her. But yeah, she literally went in the cupboard and went, no, I'm out. And just closed the door. But yeah, there were some funny ones.
it. Well, okay, speaking from the girl in the cupboard,
Yeah.
if there was a particular detail in Magenta that you put there that you don't think anyone else would have noticed, what detail would you say that you're proud of in that?
In that one room or the whole experience?
The whole
or-
experience. Whole experience.
Oh, that's a really good question. I think the world of DEATHCELL is in there without people maybe noticing if they've not seen previous productions and stuff. So like, we'll put loads of Easter eggs from like previous productions or the show that if you're coming through DEATHCELL for the first time, you might not notice that. But when you do like behind the scenes tours, I'll point it out. Or like when we've done the behind the scenes docu-series, we've been pointing out and people are like, oh, okay. So like, there's just snippets of the world in there that everything has a reason behind it. It's not just there for, you know, scenic dressing. There was a reason to why it's there.
Yeah. A lot of hidden elements.
Yeah.
We tried to factor that in when we were like designing it, right? Like,
Mhm.
that's why the boiler suits are in the boiler room.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense. The boiler
Yeah.
room is boiler suits. But the idea is that this obviously takes place before DEATHCELL. So
Yeah.
why were there boiler suits in the original DEATHCELL? Well, because
Yeah.
Magenta put them in her initial conundrums to go, cool, yeah, and then they've now translated through to being what the players wear in DEATHCELL, and I think there's like lots of little things like that. that
I
we
think-
put in.
I was going to say, I even think even down to details about like Magenta's workshop, thinking about the key elements that we kept in, like the lights coming through the vent, and the positioning of the set in there. I think that was quite key to kind of keeping the story believable that it's the same space.
Yeah, I think my favourite part was just the projection, like genuinely having the film there and having our reveal of the door to Magenta's workshop, because you just see all the guests be like, oh fuck.
This is
They
it.
didn't expect it,
Yeah.
because there's all different rooms around that room, so they could have thought, I just open that way or that way, but
Yeah.
the genuine reveal, like you could kind of just see it from like where we were back of house, just we had like a little pane so we could look through, and they were just all like, like no one was getting up their seats ready to go, they were just sitting there waiting for the last second and the flies come and grab them. So but yeah, that was mine.
Well, I think in regards to your question about like what didn't they notice, like that we put in there.
Yeah.
If you think like back to the workshop, there's so many things in that workshop that are in the short film that they've just seen, but they never clocked on. Like one of the flies, the severed hand was in the workshop.
Yeah.
It was there with them, and they kind of just picked it up and went nowhere. They didn't even think. Of it. Or even the collar, the card, like everything was in there that you'd seen in the film, but they. No. I think there was maybe like a couple people that went, wait a minute, is that
Yeah.
like, oh. Yeah, I think like little details like that, those were really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's also, sorry, I was just going to say similar to what you were saying about what's in the film and then those little Easter eggs. I guess you didn't necessarily see them, but the person that you came across in the tunnel was was the leftovers from basically who got melted, should we say, in the film. Like that's who is with them in the tunnel.
Yeah.
So
That's me.
That's the idea.
so again, like that's like another link through, but people may not have. To be honest, I don't think people really noticed it because they were all just screaming and were absolutely terrified.
They were panicked.
So yeah, but again, that's just how we made sure that everything linked. There was always a link somewhere, and whether someone picked up on it, great, and if they didn't, it wasn't necessarily detrimental to their experience. So
Well, lovely, amazing. Well, the next source is handle with scare.
Ooh. Okay.
great.
So
I'm
all ready.
I'm
to
also
go?
enjoying that no one's drunk any milk yet, and I'm sat here like I want milk.
Really?
God.
I know when we were
I-
talking in the last one, it hit me.
I will not be the first person to drink the milk.
No.
So,
I've
but
got a
my
tiny
lips,
wing for
Yeah,
this.
I've got
my
an
lips
LED.
are
Yeah,
tingling.
one.
So,
And all of skin.
I
Cheers.
oh god,
It is.
this lip's wet.
My wing looks wet.
So Liam, every project.
No.
I'll wait. Every project has its highs and its horror stories, right? If you could hit rewind and relive a golden day from this project, what day would that be? And on the flip side, if you could have one day that you thought, this day is going to swallow me whole, this is it, this is the end, what day would that be? What incident could that be?
Okay. Well, the second one already springs to
Okay.
mind. We'll park that one. A golden day.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard because there were so many good moments. Like there were loads of real highlights across the whole project. I have so many memories from it, but it was kind of right. I'm gonna go this one because I think it's like a highlight, but for kind of the wrong reason. Or it feels like it shouldn't be a highlight, but it was. And I think Steph will back me up. Funnily enough, we were actually talking about this today. So there was a day where me and Steph had to go and pick up some set pieces and bits that we managed to wangle for free online.
Right.
So we managed to get a whole like kitchen suite, which was great. And we needed to go pick it up, which was fine. It was in central London, which is already a challenge when you're trying to drive through central London in a huge full transit van. But we picked up the kitchen and then we had to obviously drive back, and what didn't help was the van also did not have Apple CarPlay, or I shouldn't say Apple, didn't have CarPlay. Didn't have CarPlay, so I couldn't connect my phone, so I just had my phone sat on the side and I was like, okay, well, I'll just put the directions in, let's go. So we started driving. I don't know the roads in central London, I just follow the directions. And I also didn't know the height of the van. So we got to a point where we went round this corner, and I think we were going under a tunnel that went under the Thames to take us to the other side.
Yeah.
And we drove around the corner, and ahead of us was a huge like metal structure that had these like big beams pointing down from it. And I initially looked at it and thought, oh, okay, these must be like warning beams, like plastic beams that at least if you drive through, maybe they'll hit them and then rattle.
Right.
And you'll be like, okay, I can't go that way. No.
Okay.
Luckily though, we'll preface this. Luckily, I didn't hit them. However, I did drive up towards them, realised that they were solid metal beams, and immediately just braked. And I went, Steph, we can't go this way. However, both sides of where we had gone were now bollarded in, so we couldn't go anywhere but backwards, basically. But obviously, we'd just come from a junction, and there were like 8-10 cars behind us.
Yeah.
And I said to Steph, I went, I'm really sorry, you need to get out and tell them that they all need to move because I can't go this way. So poor Steph had to get out of the car and very kindly asked some very rude people during like rush hour in London that they all needed to reverse so that I could reverse the van out. And she had to ask like 4 cars.
It was by Tower Bridge as well, so like it's so busy and everyone's just
Yeah.
expecting people to go. And then I literally, because the van's really high, I remember literally getting up and like disappearing. Because like I just jumped down and I just turned and looked and I went, oh Christ. Like this. And I was like, hi, I'm really sorry, but we don't live around here. Can you just reverse? And the first person, can you move? And the first person was like, yeah, sure, that's fine, went. But then the person afterwards just gave me a whole like spiel about how I should be driving to London, and I was like,
and you were like, just
I
move.
was like, just move.
So we got out.
Yeah.
But it just stands out. That really does stand out to me as like, it was a horrible situation, but I will always remember it because it's stuff like that you can't write. You can't write stuff like that. So then on the flip side, I think the moment I honestly was like, what am I doing? Like, how am I here right now? Was it was the day before press, so it was day 3 of the build. It was up.
Okay.
There wasn't quite paint on every wall at this point, and we were getting quite close to the end of the day. I think we got to like 8 o'clock, and there was still a room that there was no paint on any walls, and I was like, we're opening in like less than 24 hours at this point. and everyone had left, and it was just me and Steph. And we were in the venue till like 2:30, 3 in the morning. We'd ordered a Nando's. We had a Nando's.
It was a wet Nando's.
And it was a wet Nando's.
Oh, no.
It wasn't
Oh.
even good. And we
It's like chicken
were in this we were in this room with The Weeknd playing on repeat.
Save your tears.
And all we were doing, I just had my hands with big, thick yellow like sponges that you'd wash a car with. And I was just dunking them in paint, and I was just going like this. And I was just smothering the walls with as much paint as possible, because I just wanted to go to bed. Because by this point, I think between me and Steph, even the past 2 nights, we'd probably only had like, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours between us. So we were already flagging at this point.
Yeah.
And we then proceeded to go, right, it's 3 a.m, we need to go. We had to book somewhere to stay, because we still hadn't even booked somewhere. We ended up going to, what's it called? Snooze Box next to Aber Voyage. Great. Little box room. And even then, when we got there, I think we got there at like 4 a.m. We had like 2 hours sleep. Got up because we were like, we need to get back for 6 in the morning because we need to go and carry on the painting because it needs time to dry before the press night. So we basically paid like 80 quid for a nap. No, a snooze. That's what I said. It was a snooze. We were in the snooze box and it was a snooze.
Wow.
It was a snooze.
You had the bottom bunk, I had the top bunk.
Yeah.
Because of my neck, you had to help me up.
Yeah,
Just like,
it was awful. And Steph paid like £6 or something for a bottle of water. We then got to the room and there were 2 bottles of water in the room. So it was just, it kind of just was one thing after the other with that day. And it's not something I want to relive. So yeah, get the paint on the walls earlier, lads.
Well, this is one for everybody. Magenta is a lot darker tone in this one compared to the first one. Would you say that horror works well when it's got comedy in it for the audience to have a bit of relief, or would you say it's better when horror like doubles down on the scare? Which tone do you think which works better?
I think it's personal preference. I don't think there's a everyone likes different things. Because everyone always asks as well with things like this. They're always like, how scary is it? How scary is it?
Yeah.
But scare is so personal.
It's subjective.
Yeah, it's really subjective. It's really personal to each individual person. So
I suppose everyone has their own feelings.
yeah. But in terms of like my preference, I like it. I do like a blend. Like I like to be on edge and I like to be scared.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you get those comical moments, it gives you a full sense of security.
Yeah.
And I think that works really well in horror because then as soon as you're like, you let your guard down and you're like, oh, ha, 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 then all of a sudden you're like you could be hit with something and then you're like, okay, shit, wasn't expecting that. So I think they kind of go hand in hand, but I think there's a fine balance.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be too comical, but no, to be honest, I think it can be really scary. I think you can make it as scary as you like. But I think there's a fine balance with the comical side. You don't want it to become just a comedy.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, moving on, we're sure we've got our appetite. I know Jim has.
He's like, thank God.
Let's go. This one is Parrot Scoville Activity. Scoville Activity.
Before we take a bite, now look, I might be shooting myself in the foot here.
do you want to damn some?
He's doing well.
I'm a bit tingly, but I think we need.
Okay.
I think we should up the ante.
Okay, fine.
I
If you
think
guys
from,
want to
I think from,
I'm with
I
you.
do think from this point we should dab them
All right, then.
because I just feel like it needs a bit of a.
Let's go.
Well done.
Yeah,
We dab each other's.
When you say dab,
Just like
When
I
you
feel like
say
it just.
dab,
we
I
need
feel like
some
it
wet-
just needs
Oh,
like.
half a bottle.
Yeah.
It needs to be swimming.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, it's not coming out. That scares me even more.
Oh.
No, that's
yeah.
Why won't we do it? No,
That's a good
That's
one.
what we're going for.
I'll have
right
right.
amount.
On this
Oh.
one.
Yeah,
no, a bit more than that.
Come on, Liam. It was your idea.
Yeah.
I think.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
that's more than enough for me.
Yeah.
I just feel like it needs it, you know.
All right. Prep.
Yeah. I'll wait to.
Because my my mouth is teeny. I feel like we can, you know.
Let's up it.
Okay.
Then
Just a
the
little
last
bit.
one is a dunk.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
God, he's
Oh, the
horrible.
last
Yeah, don't do too
Wow,
much.
that's so
Oh,
much.
oh no, I was thinking taking. Oh, thanks, mate. No, take the actual chicken
Oh, wait.
and just dunk it into the bottle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's
dunk it into the milk.
Into the milk.
It's like quite alarming.
Yeah,
that
there you
it
go.
sits,
Sorry, run
it
out.
sits quite nicely
Run
on
out
the
the
top.
pipe.
Loopy.
I just don't think I don't think I'm gonna like the flavour of this one.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
Oh no.
Chow
Was it
down.
What is
Chow
this
down.
one?
You've
How
had
many?
this one before,
Okay,
right?
this one's
Yeah.
4.
You've had this one?
Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
It's got ghost chilies,
Oh.
habanero. Oh god. Oh god, guys, you left me out.
I'm hungry.
My nose.
Okay,
Got
now,
potent, innit?
Oh.
now I can feel it.
Oh.
That
I need
one's,
to go.
Oh.
that one's jumped a kick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm regretting my life decision.
Are we sure we're dabbing all of them?
Oh, yeah.
I'm really sorry. I don't like the flavour.
So
It
Jim,
is quite a distinct flavour.
Yeah.
God, my nose.
would you say there's anything that became problematic during the run of the show?
He's dying.
Would you say there's anything that became
Right.
problematic during the run of the show?
Took some milk.
Particularly
No.
an incident involving magnets where you had to help somebody. Was there anything that happened during the run of the show?
What's that?
Magnets.
What happened with magnets?
Apparently you had to, there was an incident where you had to help somebody with magnets while people were watching the show.
Magnets.
The magnets were strong, so it needed you to squat.
Oh. Yeah.
Can I
Really
just...
strong.
I'll start the story.
Yeah, it's my question.
I want to explain my part.
So, basically, when the short film was going on, we're all backstage in like different parts of the rooms just chilling
Right.
because it's our time to chill, like 20 minutes, 15 minutes of chill. So me and Steph and Jack were chilling in the back, and then I noticed somehow on Jack's costume there was like 6 magnets all stuck together on his buckle, and I was like, how the hell? I was like, I've lost these for ages.
Got to catch
So I pulled them off and I went, these are like really strong magnets. And to prove it, I threw it. And it literally, and the flooring in the venue was all metal tiles. So it literally went stuck straight down on the metal tiles. It just so happens that during this time, the short film got a little bit quieter. And as I bent down to pick the magnets up, a little rumpatuke.
A little.
Well, basically, the elephants from Jumanji. And at that point, we tried to hold in our laughter, but we basically rushed over to see if anyone had noticed in the short film. But I don't think they did. And then I checked through Magenta's window into the kitchen, and Andreas and Melrose, I think it was Melrose in there, we just obviously heard it and were just cracking up. And yeah, strong magnets.
To add to the end, me and Jim had obviously left the space where it happened. So Melrose and Andreas would only know that Steph was in that room. So that's what Stephanie was most worried about.
It was the fact that like you stood up, it happened, and you just went like, I went under my costume like this, trying not to laugh, and I looked up and you both disappeared, and then I could hear them laughing to the gate. I was like, wait, no, it's me. I'm not the one who's laughing.
I just ran back and started carrying on doing my job. But yeah. That was
An extra scare.
Magnet Gate. Now,
Magnet
when the short films were released, I've added that effect. Hey, you're drinking.
There's no shame. There's no shame.
Thank you. Duna.
Oh,
No
Well, during the filming for the short film, was there at any moment like a funny idea that got thought up, or it ended up getting cut during the short film? Was there any moments of funny moments where you're like, that's a shame it's got to be cut, or that has to be cut because it's so funny?
oh.
That had to be cut or be added.
Like
just
from
cut.
the film.
Or in the final cut, or be added. Any moments, or any funny moments in the short film.
Right.
I suppose that question goes to you, Jim, quite well, because is there anything that we did film that you thought it just really doesn't fit, but it was hilarious?
I think there's just I think with all films, there's a lot of stuff that you really want to keep in there, but a lot of the time you have to cut it because it just doesn't carry the storyline.
Yeah.
There were some funny things that we laughed about that I had to cut. It ended up I had to cut shorter, just because it would give away that the set wasn't a real building. Which was Melrose getting electrocuted.
Yeah, that's the one that sprung to my mind.
Fucking wall!
When you go, fall into the wall, Melrose, and they can tend to be electrocuted.
Right. Right.
I think Melrose thinks in his head he's been hit by a cannonball.
Yeah.
100 miles per hour goes into stage flats, and then we see on the camera just the flats just go and bend inwards. So each take we had to do of that, we had to go around and then push the flats back. So I had to basically cheat that a bit, where the initial impact, he gets electrocuted, it kind of cuts quite quickly from that to move on to the next thing, because as he slumps down more, you can actually see that the flat's actually bent inwards like this, and it's not an actual linear wall.
Wow.
And you can see that in the documentary where Liam warns Melrose on camera, saying maybe don't throw yourself so hard into the wall. And he went, yeah, no worries. Then to proceed every single take to launch himself. Reckless abandon.
I think another one I can think of, it wasn't for the short film, but it was for when we did the rewind trailer,
Oh yeah.
was when we did the freeze frame with Dan. And Dan was the only one not. And I think we shot that maybe like 10 times, but it was basically a bit in the trailer where we all turned around, looked directly at the camera to kind of break the fourth wall, and all very like open armed, very like great, welcome to rewind, but Dan wasn't in on the joke. So we would all do it and then just freeze and just sort of stare like, and Dan was just in the scene like, what's going on? But there were so many takes of that. Obviously the first take was the best one in the sense of, he was really in on it.
Yeah.
But the latter was, there's so many cuts, like there's one where Jack's literally dying inside, where we're just holding it for so long and Dan is just looking around aimlessly like, what the hell is going on? So I'm sure there are multiple takes from that as well that will never see the light of day.
Wow. Well, the next one is Pool Party Massacre.
Pool party in your
Chuck
mouth.
the whole thing in my mouth.
I'm not ready.
I was on my lips. Oh. It's literally on my lips. Oh.
Ooh.
Some Molly.
Okay.
A lolly.
A Molly? Right. Tell us about.
You don't lolly? Me? Sorry. Who said it's a lolly? I went, is it? I don't know what a lolly tastes like that. Yes, sorry, go on.
Tell us about a funny moment or a highlight that you didn't expect.
Liam's dying.
During filming.
I'll
Oh, not filming, during the run.
I'll get back to you in a moment, please. So,
That is no.
Sorry. Can you
I
please
can feel it.
repeat the question?
Tell us about a funny moment or a highlight that you didn't expect that would happen that stood out to you during the run.
Yeah, so
I feel like this tiny tap dance on my tongue.
This one's a big step up.
funny moment during the
I'm
show
so worried.
was that so throughout the experience in
It's getting
Magenta's.
worse.
Shut up.
Sorry.
Can you repeat the question?
In Magenta's corridor. In Magenta's corridor, she would have some hints and clues to remind her of combinations.
Combinations, yeah.
Just, there's a lot of numbers to remember, a lot of lines and stuff, so it would be easy to just backstage put Magenta some clues.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was that we changed some of the clues and we didn't tell Magenta. He just assumed Magenta would read the hint, which we had changed backstage for her.
My hands were full.
We weren't having conversations because we were just so go, go, go. But it got to the point where I was backstage and I heard for like the past 3 shows and I thought Steph was trying to throw people off. But basically, in the kitchen, the guests had to go into the fridge and they would have to look for a series of numbers for the combination. However, Steph thought, look for the items on the shopping list. So there's someone in there who can't see. They just have literally a magenta coloured glow stick to aid them. Literally not much light at all. And Steph would just keep saying to him, yeah, look for the eggs and the ham. There is no ham and eggs in here. There's just numbers with underlines and things like that. And she's like, no, look for the bread. Throwing all this shopping list at people.
I think I have to take the blame on that one though.
So before DEATHCELL Magenta, Magenta was only mentioned briefly in like the first DEATHCELL. So how did that progress into Magenta being kind of fleshed out more into the sequel?
I think people, like, there was questions left over from the first show, like, why is there a vending machine there? Why are they players? Obviously, the original show was come and live a life of, you know, a day in the life of a player in DEATHCELL. So
Right.
it was all about giving the backstory to why that exists and why those things came into play. And because Magenta was mentioned and she'd, you know, been the reason why these escape games had existed in the first experience, we then just went, okay, we're going to look into the prequel and Magenta is going to be at the start of it, and then go from there. Really, we kind of just all like took it and
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we wanted to, when we did the original production, we only did it over like, it was about 3.5 days, 3.5 4
Yeah, it was
days,
meant to be
like-
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The rooms up opening on the Thursday.
Yeah, so we did a few extra ones, and I think in total we only had about 120 people come see it. So relatively small, not a lot of people saw it. But I think we believed, and well, we still do believe in the IP of DEATHCELL and the world and the lore and how much there is to tell. That I think when we started talking about what we wanted to do, we were like, how can we bring people into this world that have no idea what it is? Because it can be quite tricky to explain from the get-go. So we wanted to do it in a way that made sense to people and kind of introduce them to the world, to the characters, to the kind of vibe. And I think Magenta, this production, DEATHCELL Magenta, kind of enabled us to do that. Sorry, my mouth was on fire. Yeah, I think this production enabled us to do that, and this character existed, but I think the beauty of DEATHCELL as well is that we're kind of still writing it. So we have ideas and we have things that we've explored, but we haven't like fully fleshed stuff out. So this gave us an opportunity to take the character, take some of the facts and things that we already knew and had written about her, and then went, right, okay, how can we flesh this out so that it becomes more of a fully fledged character arc, character story, origin story, whatever you want to call it. Because she was kind of not the creator of DEATHCELL, but she was definitely the creator of the inner workings and kind of almost gave it its name in one way or another. So I think it was important for us to use her as the character to do that.
I think delivering the cinematic element as well allowed us to really delve into a story for both Magenta and Ryan with Magenta. I think it allowed us to really give that to the guests in a way that a lot of kind of live attractions can't do, because it's very hard to kind of deliver that full story when you want people to be solving puzzles or being scared. And I think, yeah, the cinematic element gave us that ability to really tell a story.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know how everyone's so calm, although I feel like Jackie's a very red.
Chill.
Red.
But I'm struggling, but I don't want to be the first one to drink the milk, because I'm a brave little boy.
That felt like whatever was in the leftovers tube went in my mouth. So, and my lips are what's burning.
Yeah, man.
I put too much on I need to open my mouth wider. Now.
Swallow it whole.
Oh,
Well, speaking of, during the film and the experience, you play the leftovers wearing prosthetics and a mask, right? And as someone who does their own makeup and their own prosthetics in the past, did you feel more like that character, or and you know, how was it wearing a face of your own?
As in wearing the mask to the prosthetics, or
Yeah.
yeah, like I really think that as soon as I saw the first prosthetic for the film, I was like, that is gross. So it was really exciting. Like I've never I don't think I've ever had anything that detailed, I think, in any of the makeup I've done through different jobs and stuff. So it was quite exciting to have it. I didn't realise how much it was going to be stuck down to my face. So I probably should have shaved more beforehand.
How long did you end up wearing it for in the end?
Well,
It was multiple hours.
It was
Oh,
a good few hours, and
You just
bearing
sat
in
under
mind,
a cloth.
bear in mind, a couple of those hours were sat under cloth, just waiting in the back of the seat.
Which can be seen in the film.
Yeah.
That is Jack under that sheet.
waiting.
there.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed wearing different makeup and learning about different makeup styles. So learning from Jim. And I did remember thinking at one point, so, and I think I did have this conversation with Jim, and was like, so are we going to have to stick this on someone's face every day? And then he obviously revealed to me, no, we're not stupid. We've got masks, or we can make a mask. And yeah, like the mask was really fun to kind of see and play about with as well with the character itself. Yeah, it was enjoyable. I love every kind of different character makeup style, so it was fun.
Okay, well, on our final source, Terrifier Art Attack. This is our final source.
Let's chow down.
Okay, everybody, this is the last one.
Dig in, guys.
Cheers.
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 The final
Cheers.
source.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Oh my god. I don't know what that was, but it tasted like.
Oh my god.
What
What is that taste?
Sorry, I can't eat that.
Oh.
Oh my god.
So everybody,
No.
you've all known each other since.
Oh my god, it's in my
at
mouth.
least you've all known each other since at least 2017.
Please.
Some of you even longer.
Oh my god, that's hippie now!
Running a creative company, running a creative company can be a blessing or a curse, right? But what qualities of your friendship has kept you together, and how have you kept those traits of those alive in our space still today?
This friendship ends tonight.
I don't know what you said, it sounded like you were talking
Is it right at the back of the throat as well?
It's got under my tongue.
We've all known each other for such a long time.
Fuck this.
Oh
For many of you, so many years. What traits of your friendship has kept you together, and how has that been brought into our space even now today?
We're very passionate.
Yeah, you carry on talking.
It makes me gag.
The laugh is making it worse.
Molly, look away. Molly.
Oh. Sorry, milk makes me gag.
Jack, have you had milk?
Yes.
Good. That
Oh.
I mean, Jim made me laugh there.
Sorry.
Oh, anyway.
That one was a jump. That one was a jump.
Question.
Fucking hell, you guys have known each other for so many years. What traits of your friendship? What traits of your friendship has kept you together?
I think
And how has that kept our space? How has that improved and created our space of what it is now still today?
I think because we all met through doing the same sort of job or similar jobs. I
Right,
think
yeah.
We've all, in our own way, been creative as well, which I think kind of brought us together, and how well we got on in previous jobs working together. It's kind of like this. I think my tongue's slowly like decaying.
It feels like the devil sat on
Yeah.
my face.
I think that.
I really need to blow my nose.
I think that passion and the creativity are like has kind of brought us together, where we bounce off each other really well.
Yeah.
Where some person has one idea, we like, the rest of us instantly like jump on it and bounce back. And
Yeah.
I mean, half the time when we come up with an idea and we're spitballing ideas and we're bouncing off each other, it doesn't always make the cut because we go so far out there
Yeah.
that the ideas we come up with is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
If it were made, people would probably go to an attraction and go, I don't know what's going on here, but somebody's on drugs.
So,
And I think that's kind of like we're all into like the same kind of horrors and like similar comedy and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what keeps us.
that's what's bonded you together
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Stars.
At the moment, my tongue's
It doesn't help.
my tongue's back in the suitcase, getting ready to leave to go write a napper.
I think we also like as a group.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Did you drink
No,
it?
not yet. Have you?
No.
No.
We all have trust in each other.
Yeah.
Like we all trust each other's ideas and that we're capable of doing like what we say we're gonna do.
Pardon me.
There's no magnets.
Lucifer came out my throat.
Well, that's better than Lucifer came in mine. No, I'm joking.
Where's Percy?
Yeah, I think we all trust each other's ideas and we all have tons of ideas, and I think we've kind of built up this. I can't think straight.
You've all built each other's ideas.
Straight.
You've all bonded. Same humour.
Can you answer the question?
No, we do.
I'm just bouncing up.
We all have good ideas, and I think we're all good at then like refining ideas and.
I think we keep each other grounded as well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's the thing is
Yeah.
we always rein each other back in if sometimes it's getting a bit too far fetched.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've also all got experience in so many different areas and different lengths of experience, different things that we all kind of like lift each other up in those areas as well.
Yeah.
And I think that enables us to just crack on and kind of just get shit done.
Yeah.
Because it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really hard doing what we do and on like, tight budgets and with us all working full time and all that. Like it does like have a toll on us all.
Definitely.
But I think we all, we all have the same goal in mind of what we want to achieve. And I mean, whether you can tell, this is in a dining room. So,
It's not even real.
like, we're very,
Duna has hair.
we're very good at making things,
That was real.
I'm not gonna lie.
we're really good at like making things from nothing. Or from like very few materials and stuff. But
Yeah.
I think the end product that we end with, is pretty well done,
Yeah.
and people compliment us on
Yeah.
that. So that's what keeps us going, and I think that that bonds
Really
us.
lovely.
I think Steph said in one of the early episodes of the YouTube doc, you said it's our space, like our space, and that's what makes it like I think what you guys were saying earlier. It's truthful, so like you keep each other grounded.
Yeah, I think. Oh wow. I think like you said, it was a space for all of us to be creative in.
Yeah.
It's if it stops being fun, then we don't want to do it anymore. And I never wanted to do it on my own. It's about the people and the team, and like we would never ever let each other fall, and we would never let each other down. And like we've all done this, like particularly the whole since we've begun our space, but. This project was our longest project, our biggest project. It kept growing and growing and growing. We massively grew with it. And I think, what bonds us is like coming up with these ideas, but just believing in it. Like, even if like 2 people came and saw it, we believe in that product. Like, putting these episodes out, editing the film, all the bits that we do back of house, like we spent 18 months creating it for 10 days. So I think believing in us, we all believe in each other. You okay, hon?
No.
I think believing in each other, but believing in the story that we put out and the experience that we want the guests to have, like that's the most important thing. If that falls or like it stops being fun for us, this project was incredibly challenging. There was definitely moments, as Liam said,
Don't wipe your eyes, don't wipe your eyes.
Yeah, don't wipe my eyes.
Careful,
Put my hands here. Where it was really challenging, and we just were like, wow, we're literally doing this with so many hurdles. Like it did feel some days that like time was not on our side, things just were against us. But are you having more?
I'm just
Okay.
watching Leo. It's alright.
But yeah, I think we believe in each other, the product, and what we do. I know it's emotional anyway.
Well done. You've done it. Speak to this camera, this camera, and this camera, and tell everybody what you've got going on.
So this was our docu-series, which we hope you enjoy watching. This has been a struggle. I think I'm going to take time to recover from this. But, we are working on things in the background. I would just say watch this space, if you'll pardon the pun. And, yeah, who knows what will come next, but hopefully something very soon.